I guess my last question for you is, I've asked you to put on the hat of a physician, of an anthropologist, of somebody who's deeply, now I want you to put on your hat as a teacher. And think about the students in the course who are taking this course. A lot of them are going to read the recommendations of our panel, which talk about how to fix these international agencies that haven't functioned well, or how health systems have to be strengthened, and get that. What can individuals, students, physicians in training, nurses in training, people who just care deeply about this, who agree with the vision you have laid out, what do they do? How do they begin to affect change in a way that's meaningful, that's sustainable? Do you have any, it's a very hard question, but do you have any thoughts?
It's a hard question, but you've gotten me on this sort of philosophical jag here, Ashish, but I would be tempted to move up to the top of the list for students. That solidarity, and we want it to be pragmatic solidarity, right?
Yes.
We do want staff, subspace, and systems.
Yeah.
But I can just say this, and I did say this to my students at Harvard Medical School, because they asked me the same question.
Yeah.
I said, part of the hard part of this, and it was kind of embarrassing to say, but it feels alienating to come home, because in October and November, there started to be, again, this disease control only paradigm, here as well.
Yep.
Like, above all, we will stop
Yep.
the export of this to us, which was not possible because we live in a global economy, and
Silly. Yeah.
we've been linked to that place, Upper Guinea
Yep.
coast, for 500 years.
Yep.
And so that was difficult. And one of the things I said to my students was, let the caregivers know you care.
Yep.
You're their future colleagues.
Yep.
And they did. They started a campaign for caregivers.
Yep.
And one of our coworkers fell ill with Ebola. And this was later, and in that same Ebola treatment unit that we knew was dangerous.
Yes.
But we made a choice that we're proud of.
Yep.
And they had already started this, in the latter months of the year. It was just simple messages to caregivers, to say thank you.
Yeah, and supporting them.
Yeah.
Through this process.
And let me not get too kumbaya-ish
okay.
on you, but that meant a lot to us, and it meant a lot to our colleague who fell ill.
Yes.
and who survived, although he was really critically ill.
Yeah.
And it meant a lot to others who were facing risk, anxiety, fear, And it's not easy to talk about. And in addition to that, the compassion for each other and the support for the caregivers, I think one of the best things that students can do is learn about these complexities.
Yep.
I didn't know this when I was a med student, and I wish I had, because looking back again at these other epidemics, or the ones that I would later live through, it's been the same story again and again.